Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 19 Liverpool career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for the love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of these episodes, we're quickly going to recap on the previous. Now, by now, you guys will know that every single episode, we play 2 games where you guys are seeing highlights and goals from, and we also simulate when we complete 3 games every single episode. And in the previous episode, those 3 games were Manchester City, which we physically played, West Brom Albion in the Carabao Cup, which we physically played, and then we simulated the game in the Premier League against Wolves. Now, coming up against Manchester City is always going to be a difficult game, but surprise, surprise, the scoreline reflected that it really wasn't. We beat them 4-0, and after that first goal went in the 53rd minute, we did struggle a little bit. We had plenty of chances, but Edison turned up on the day. Once we put that first goal past them in the 53rd minute, it only took us 11 minutes from that point to go and score the other 3 and then beat Manchester City 4-0. So I was very happy with that result. But then coming up against West Brom, it was very similar to the game that we played against Lokomotiv Moscow. And the reason for that is we beat Fulham 7-0, but then struggled in the next game and only won 1-0. We beat Manchester City 4-0. And in the game in the Carabao Cup against West Brom, we struggled a little bit and again only beat them 1-0, which we did score with Ryan Sessegnon, I do believe, in the 5th or 6th minute. So for the next 85, 86 minutes, well, we did nothing. We had plenty of chances, but we didn't put any of them in the back of the net. And I've decided now, especially because we're in the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup now, you guys know that one of the fan objectives for Season 3 is called Retirement 7, and that is about winning all 7 pieces of silverware. We've already done the Asian Elite Cup, which was pre-season. We've already done the UEFA Super Cup. We've already done the FA Community Shield. We've still got the Premier League. We've still got the Champions League. We've got the FA Cup, and we've got the Carabao Cup to complete all 7. We've already won 3, and we're on the path right now. We're top of the Premier League, so that's going well. And we're also into the round 16 of the Carabao Cup. So we may as well stick playing the Carabao Cup games now. It's only 4 more games, and we potentially will be ticking off that one. If we simulate some of the Carabao Cup games, and we do end up drawing and then getting knocked out or losing in the 90 minutes, then we've got to remember that Retirement 7 is down, and that means the whole fan objectives is down, because we have to complete every fan objective for you guys to win that big prize. But then going into the final game, I was a little bit worried. We were playing Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home, and we were simulating it. Now, bear in mind, we had played 6 games in the Premier League, and we were undefeated. We hadn't lost, and we hadn't drawn. And then, unfortunately, we simulated the game against Wolves, and we got our first bit of bad news. Not terrible news, because we didn't lose, but we did sadly pick up our first draw and only bring a point back to Liverpool, which for me was a little bit guttering and a little bit heartbreaking, because we'd already gone 6 games against some big teams so far. We've got some unbelievable results like against Manchester City and Fulham. And you've got to remember, we fought back to beat Watford 3-2. We've had some very difficult games. So then to draw against Wolves was a little bit disappointing. I expected more from the team. But unfortunately, that was the result. 1-1. We bring 1 point back to Liverpool. We go again in today's episode. Now, I just want to mention, guys, that obviously the last couple of episodes, you guys know I've been feeling really unwell. I can confirm that I am on the mend. Probably about 98, 99%. I feel like the next day or 2 I will be 100%. But in the last episode, you guys were saying there was plenty of energy. I seemed myself. So hopefully in today's episode, you will get exactly the same. I am nearly there. Apart from the hot flushes and the cold flushes that I get now and again, and a little bit bunged up and my sinuses playing up. Apart from that, I'm 98, 99% feeling better, and hopefully over the next day or 2 my body will do what my body needs to do and get me better ASAP. But in today's episode, we have the first game up next, which we will be playing, of course, which is Dortmund in the Champions League. And then we go into the month of October, where we also have Leicester and Manchester United in today's episode. So I will be playing the Dortmund game, I will be simulating the Leicester game, and I will be playing the United game. Now, bearing in mind, in the previous episode, we beat the blue side of Manchester. Can we beat the red side? But anyway, guys, that's enough talking. You guys want to see some gameplay, so let's get it kicked off and get it started. So the lineup I am putting out against Dortmund is the usual lineup that you guys see week in and week out. We got Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Roberto Firmino striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gino Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back with Alisson between the sticks. Now, unfortunately, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent are not 100% fit for this game, but hopefully they'll still do a good job, because I don't want to risk rotating those 3 players at the back, especially because it's 3 defenders. It's not like it's a right wing, a left back and a midfielder. It's 3 of our starting 11 at the back. If I replace all of them, we could be a little bit iffy at the back because other players haven't played with each other, and I just don't want to risk it, because right now we're about to face off against Dortmund, who won their game against Porto. We won our game against Lokomotiv Moscow, and we're currently joint top. If we beat them, we then grow the gap by 3 points and have a 3-point gap at the top of our Champions League group. And that is exactly what we need to be looking to do when we face off against Dortmund up next. And that, to be honest, Dortmund have just made some incredible signings today. They've just picked up Thorgan Hazard, Eden Hazard's younger brother. They've also just picked up Julian Brandt, which was a bit of a shock because he was linked to Liverpool. And there was somebody else, like Shears or something like that they've just picked up. I think in the last 24 hours they've spent 45, 50 million, and all of that money is coming from Christian Pulisic, who's just joined Chelsea, and they've managed to sign 3 players with that money. So very, very good bit of business there from Dortmund, and I'm sure those players will do very well for them in the season ahead. But let's get into this game at Anfield against Dortmund and hopefully beat them and bag those 3 important points. Come on, lads, we've got a job to do here today. It's another Champions League night, but it's not going to be an easy one. We've got Dortmund versus Liverpool. I mean, Dortmund this year in real life have done very well in the Bundesliga, very well indeed. And I know they haven't got the likes of Aubameyang anymore, but they've still got an unbelievable squad. They've got the young man, Sancho, who's running rings. And they've got Jesse Lingard there, surprisingly. That is definitely Jesse Lingard. They seem to have made some fair few signings. They've got Danny Rose. They have definitely looked to bolster their squad and build it out a little bit. They got the other Spurs man there. I can't remember his name though, to save my life. Trippier. I think it's Trippier playing at left back for them. But it is going to be Bobby Firmino to get us kicked off in this first half. Let's get it on the way. And let's see what damage we can do. Into the middle now. Gomez. Brozovic. Gomez is on that one. Let's go Gomez. Nicely done. Let's play it out now to Mo Salah, and it's straight up to Bobby Firmino. What a ball. Bobby Firmino going to have Mane over that far side. Ball through to Mane. Can we score the counter-attack? And Mane screwed it up. Our first decent bit of counter-attack and football. And Mane puts it straight at the keeper. In now to Bobby Firmino. Nice bit of skill there from Bobby. Round to Naby Keita. Round the corner now to Mo Salah, who's got in behind. Here comes Mo Salah. Need to get it onto that left foot. Onto his left foot. Looks at Ben, the one. Berkey with a big save. And as Denado's going 1-0 up again. Into middle now for Fabinho. Naby Keita coming forwards. And unfortunately the referee is going to blow for half time at Anfield. It's been one of those games, unfortunately. You'll probably see 1 or 2 highlights from Dortmund. 1 or 2 highlights from ourselves. I mean, what can I say as a manager? We're playing absolutely unbelievable football. They've definitely probably had more possession. If we have a look at the possession, wow, it says we've actually had more possession. And from the stats, we're actually killing Dortmund. Maybe it's just because going forward, I feel like they are looking a little bit more deadly, even though they are not having shots and shots on target. But I am going to jump back into the second half with exactly the same team. Dortmund are going to be the team to kick us off in the second half. Let's get it underway. Gini back to Fabinho. Fabinho up to Bobby. Going to lay this off now to Naby Keita. Naby Keita going to wait for Salah to get in behind. Salah through a goal! And it took 50 minutes for our Egyptian King Mo Salah has finally scored in the 50th minute. It's not going to go towards this Premier League tally. We needed to score 22 plus goals in the Premier League. But he scored in the Champions League, and it's a very important one to put us 1-0 up against Dortmund. He's easily scored now. I think he scored 2 maybe in pre-season. He's got 6 in the Premier League. He scored another in Champions League. I think he's got 9 or 10 goals early on. This early on, should I say, into our season 3 at Liverpool. Here's Gini up to Mane. And I'm going to try and get into the box here with Mane now. No, and I lost the ball there to Kevin Trippier. And I think with the 65th minute, Gomez has still got the injury next to him, so I think I'm going to have to look at taking Gomez off. It's not an injury that we need right now. We need Van Dijk and Gomez at the back. We are going to bring Jimenez on, who without a doubt can link up nicely with Virgil van Dijk. But Gomez has been a massive part of this squad since season 1. It's very unfortunate this early on into season 3 that he has picked up an injury. My next move is going to be, we're 1-0 up, so I'm going to bring Coutinho on for Gini Wijnaldum, hopefully just to help out Mane, Bobby and Salah up top. Try and find that second goal so we can start to relax a little bit, and then I can either look at bringing Salah on, Naby Keita on, or off, should I say, later into this game. Into Fabinho. Fabinho to Coutinho. Let's go into Bobby and then back out to Coutinho now. Coutinho through on goal onto that right foot. Looks to Ben one. And Philippe Coutinho has given us that little bit of breathing space after putting us 2-0 up in the 80th minute. It needed to happen, and I said that Philippe Coutinho could come on and help getting one of the front three on the score sheet. Regardless of that, he's come on and got himself onto the score sheet. Beautiful finesse shot there from Philippe Coutinho. We've seen so many times when he was at Liverpool, the way he could just shift his body, shift his weight, open up that body to finesse one in the far corner and beat the keeper. And he's done just that so many times in season 3 at Liverpool already. There's no point in messing around with it. Let's play it round at the back. From Alisson out to Trent, into the middle now to Fabinho. Come on ref, just blow your whistle. Here's Coutinho, pings one over to Robertson, and as we look to play that pass out, the referee is going to blow for full time at Anfield. We've bagged another 3 points against Dortmund, and we've done that by beating them 2-0. Thanks to Philippe Coutinho giving us that little bit of breathing space. Mo Salah scored in the 51st minute. That was great. We were definitely the better team, especially in the second half. I've definitely seen the lads turning up. Stat-wise, we absolutely dominated. We went in with Dortmund having about 58% possession and 1 shot with no shots on target. After 90 minutes, they've gone down a little bit in possession from 48 to 47. They still only had that 1 shot not on target. We've improved, having 11 shots, 8 on target. And Naby Keita picks up man of the match with a 9.1 rating. Well deserved. Naby Keita, although he didn't get on the score sheet, did play very well in that game. Right, and we're now at the Leicester game, the game that we will be simulating in today's episode. We currently have a 3-point gap on second place Manchester United and Chelsea. Now, luckily enough for us, the next game after the Leicester game is against Manchester United. So if we can continue our winning ways and beat Leicester, we'll then still be potentially 3 points clear on Manchester United if they win their game, or Chelsea if they win theirs. But then if we've got 3 points on Manchester United, we're then playing them for the last game in today's episode. So if we beat them, we may potentially open that gap to 6 points between us and United, but it depends also how Chelsea get on. But I'm quite shocked, to be honest, because the top 6 are ourselves, United, Chelsea, Newcastle, Everton and Wolves. There's no Arsenal, there's no Spurs, there's no Manchester City. And to be quite frank, over the 3 seasons, we've absolutely dominated, but so have our Liverpool rivals, Everton and Wolves, who I'm pretty sure, especially last season, both finished again in the top 6. Now, I know it's only early doors, it's only 7 games into the Premier League, but Newcastle, Everton and Wolves, to get themselves into the top 6, are doing very well right now. Now, before I show you the squad that we're putting out against Leicester, we do have a little bit of bad news. Now, I have already seen this email, so luckily enough, it's not too bad of a news, but it's still not the greatest news we've had. Joe Gomez has suffered a bruised shoulder. No idea why he went off for a bruised shoulder. No idea why he's going to be out for 5 days with a bruised shoulder. But nevertheless, he is out for 5 days. He's not going to be fully fit for the Leicester game, but he will be back in time for the United game. So I'm very happy. Now, with the bruised shoulder, I don't know if I'd have left him on longer, whether he would have run that injury off or not. But I didn't want to risk it, and I thought it's best that we get him off, because if it is a bad injury, I don't want to make it any worse. But the lineup we are putting out against Leicester for the simulated game is the usual starting 11, but we've made 2 massive changes with Coutinho and Jimenez coming into the team and getting their first start for Liverpool. But we got Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Roberto Firmino at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gini Wijnaldum linking up with Philippe Coutinho in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson and Van Dijk, Jimenez and Trent at the back with Alisson between the sticks. And I can also confirm Coutinho has gone up to a 90 from an 89, Fabinho has gone up to an 89 from an 88, and Trent has gone up from an 85 to an 86. So our players are growing nicely. And I also noticed on the bench, Mane is 87. His understudy, Ryan Sessegnon, is an 86. He's only 1 rating behind, being joint with Sadio Mane, who is our starting left winger right now. So the team is developing very, very nicely and has done very well over these 3 seasons. But let's go ahead and get ready to simulate this game against Leicester. Let's get the players warmed up and keep our fingers crossed we can bag those 3 important points. Here we go. Referee blows and kicks this game off. Genie, 7 minutes in, has scored a goal, and that is 1 goal towards the Genie's wish. That's exactly what we need. 30 minutes in, and Pino's picked up a yellow card. Salah has scored in the 35th minute to add another one to his tally. He is also looking to score 22 goals this season. Sessegnol's come on for Bobby Firmino. No idea why, because we need a striker. Salah's then scored in the 62nd. Fabinho missed a penalty in the 68th. We're into the 85th minute. Nothing happened, and the referee is going to blow for full time. We beat Leicester 3-0. We keep a clean sheet. Salah scores 2 towards his tally. Without a doubt, this season, Salah is on for the Golden Boot. I'm a little bit shocked that we took Sessegnol or Bobby Firmino off for Ryan Sessegnol. The only thing I can think that happened is Salah moved into the striker position. We then played Sessegnol on the right wing maybe, and then played Mane on the left wing. I don't know why Sessegnol would have come on for Bobby. It would have been for me Sessegnol for Mane. So I'm not sure who we actually played at striker. Maybe Sessegnol come in and played at striker. But regardless, we beat Leicester 3-0. Salah scores 2 to his tally. We're trying to get either 22 goals plus with Salah or Mane. Salah is definitely the one leading the way right now. And also Gini Wijnaldum. We're trying to get a combined of 20 plus goals and assists. So another goal for Gini Wijnaldum does him no harm either. But what a great result against Leicester. We're at home. We pick up the 3 points. We beat them 3-0. And we keep a clean sheet, especially considering we had to change the back a little bit with bringing Jimenez in for Gomez. But regardless, we played absolutely unbelievable. So as usual, guys, I do all the player development, do all the emails, get the team lined up for this big game up next against Manchester United. Right, and here we are, guys, all lined up for the last game in today's episode. And we are finishing on a massive one. We've got the red side of Manchester United. Now, bearing in mind, in the last episode, we had the blue side of Manchester, which, of course, is City. We beat them 4-0. Can we do the same sort of thing against United? I would hope so. And with the way our team is playing right now, I have no doubt that we should absolutely dominate against United. Now, United's last game, they must have lost because they were on 16, and we've now moved ahead, which means we've pushed the gap to a 6-point gap. We won our game against Leicester. They lost their game. So if we beat them, that gap between United and ourselves grows to 9 points. And Manchester United right now cannot afford to do that. Chelsea are doing very well. There's only 3 points between ourselves and second place Chelsea. The most important thing, if I was the Chelsea manager, United manager, Wolves manager, Everton manager, Newcastle manager, is we cannot let Liverpool build this gap, because before you know it, we're halfway through the season and I've got a 20-point gap lead on the second position team in the Premier League, and it's pretty much game over because we're on such a good run. We're barely losing or drawing any games, and it makes it very difficult. So Chelsea are the only team right now that are clinging on and trying to keep that 3-point gap at a 3-point gap. But this is the lineup we are putting out against United. We've got Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Roberto Firmino as striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gini Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson and Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back with Alisson between the sticks. Now, the one thing I am going to look to do in this game against United, because he deserves it, we need to be giving Virgil van Dijk a little bit of a break. You can see the last 3 games that he's gone into, he has not been 100% fit. And I just feel like, you know, it starts off he's 100% fit, then you're playing him every game at 90% fit, then you're playing him at 80% fit. And once you go under that 80% fitness and we're playing him in every game, he's more likely, first of all, to fatigue, and second of all, to pick up a serious injury. That is what you guys have always said to me in the comment section. Brad, why do you play players that are only 100% or 90% fit? You know, I play players that, you know, half their energy's there. Well, the reason for that, guys, they don't play well. Their stamina goes down real quick, and the lower their stamina, the more likelihood of them picking up an injury. And Virgil van Dijk is not somebody that we can afford to have a season-long injury. We don't want him out for a day, let alone a month, 2 months, 3 months, or the whole entire season. So I want to make sure he's nice and fit. So if we do get up, let's say 2 or 3-0 by half time, or maybe even, you know, the 60th minute, I will look at bringing Van Dijk off for either Jimenez or Tar. I can't remember who's on the bench, but I will look at bringing him off because realistically, we just can't afford for him picking up an injury. But let's get into this game against United. Mo Salah is still a goal ahead of Lucas Vazquez from Chelsea in the tally for the Premier League top goal scorer. We could do with increasing that, but Lucas Vazquez did pick up Player of the Month, and is scoring plenty of goals like Salah. So it'd be nice if we could pick 2 or 3 up against the Red Devils, Manchester United. We are away from home. We are travelling to Old Trafford. Let's hope we can beat them and bring those 3 important points back to Liverpool. Liverpool versus the Red Devils. I mean, this is one of those games in the Premier League. I've probably said this every time I've played them, where the players just have so much hatred towards each other that every player just clashes. You know, the tackles are seriously bad tackles at times. You see players throwing legs and arms and elbows and all sorts in, because there's just so much hate between Liverpool fans and United fans. So there has to be so much hate between Liverpool players and Manchester United players. I don't know if Manchester United have made any signings. I know that they are, obviously, from that image there, they are playing Martial out on probably that left wing. They got Ben Yedder up top, and we do know that they sold Jesse Lingard to Dortmund. They've also got Thorvan and Rafinha from what I can see. But let's get this game kicked off with Manchester United having the kick off in the first half. Let's get it underway, and let's see what damage we can do. Fabinho picks this one up and plays it back. Fabinho still going to try and come in with the ball. Nicely done. Go up to Mane. Into the middle now for Bobby. Bobby played it through to Naby Keita. Naby Keita through a goal! And David De Gea, a big save. Oh, and how was Salah not picked that one up? I couldn't even say anything. I just had to wait to see if we could put that in the back of the net. Salah with an unbelievable chance. It was going in the back of the net. But David De Gea does very well to get a palm to it and push it out for a Liverpool corner. Let's get in there, keep the pressure on it. Ben Yedder now going to look at putting a ball into the middle. The ball does eventually come into the middle. And Thorvan's got it, he's hit the post. And it's cleared away from Gomez. We've got to keep going here. And Fred, or someone at the back, has potentially pulled a muscle there. Ben Yedder into Rafinha! Well, that's a big goal for Manchester United. Rafinha has absolutely smashed that one past Alisson and into the back of the net. Absolutely unbelievable goal. There's not much you can do there. Pogba does well to win the header. It's played into Rafinha on the edge of the box, who just takes it first time on the volley. It's a beautiful bending volley and ends up in the top left corner. Bobby's trying to lay it off and out to Naby Keita, who's coming forward. Naby Keita gets a nice angle, works it well, and David De Gea has to force a save to keep Naby Keita going 1-0, or putting it back to 1-1. Bobby missed it. Fabinho into the box, that's one fly. Let's try and win that header now. Through to Naby Keita. Fabinho's there. How have we not scored? Naby Keita going to watch the run there of Mo Salah. Nicely done, Mo Salah. Going to wait now for Trent to tuck in behind, and let's try and get Mane on this one. Ball in, looking for Bobby Firmino instead. It's a big save. Mo Salah to follow up. Why is Mo Salah putting it every time straight at David De Gea? It doesn't look like that's going to happen, but we are going to look at breaking out for the final time. Let's go now, Mo Salah. Putting Mo Salah in behind. Let's go. Mo Salah cutting back onto that left foot. Let's throw a nice ball in now for Mo Salah. In fact, I don't know why I'm saying Mo Salah. It's Sadio Mane at the back post. One of the great sights in football. I wasn't even meant to say Mane. I was meant to say Bobby Firmino. A glimpse to the bottom left or bottom right to see Salah was on the ball after I played it in. It hadn't changed. But Mo Salah getting the assist. Nice ball in. Sadio Mane at the back post. No one marking him. Too much space. And he just side foots it into the back of the net and beats David De Gea right on half time to thankfully bring us back to level terms, and that is Mane's third goal in the Premier League. He is also looking to score 22 goals plus this season, but it seems to be Mo Salah that is leading the way so far. We are going in at Old Trafford half time, and we've managed, thanks to Sadio Mane, to bring it back to level terms and put it back to 1-1. I am going to make one change now, and that is going to be Gini Wijnaldum for Philippe Coutinho. He has made a difference in the last 2 games that he's played. I'm hoping he can make the difference in this next 45-minute period, because realistically we need a second goal to push on and potentially win this game. So let's get into the second half with Bobby Firmino kicking it off. Let's get it underway, and lads, let's find this second goal to Coutinho. I'm going to play this ball through now to Bobby Firmino. He's not going to be able to get it, but he's going to pick it up now and play it through to Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane looking at getting the better of the Manchester United defender. Nice little ball in now for Mo Salah at the back post. Coutinho with the overhead kick. What an absolutely incredible goal. Let him get up, and let him go and celebrate. What an absolutely stunning goal. And here we go, what we are used to seeing when Coutinho is at Liverpool. He celebrates with Bobby Firmino and Mane doing the Brazilian salsa. Ball in from Mane. And look at that. Boom! Overhead kick on his weak foot. I was looking for Mo Salah. But Coutinho just whips that one out the bag. And what an unbelievable goal. The fact that he had that little bit of space between Vertonghen and Jose Gaya to pull off an acrobatic overhead kick to put it in the back of the net. What an absolutely stunning goal. Laying off to Naby Keita, doesn't want to move forwards, and Pogba watch that ball every day of the week. We're now with Fabinho, nicely done, here we go. Coutinho, edge of the box, big strike there from Coutinho on the volley. And a big save from David De Gea, the ball is kept in as well. Now Naby Keita still wanting to go here on his own. Playing it now to Mo Salah. Mo Salah rolls the ball and trying to get a shot off. Big strike, and I don't know why Timo Werner didn't come across to get on the end of that one. Is Timo Werner going to play it out wide now to Mo Salah? Here comes Mo Salah. Try and wiggle it onto that left foot. Mo Salah. Mo Salah. Oh, it's not going to happen. And the referee is going to blow anyway for full time at Old Trafford. We've beaten them 2-1 after going 1-0 down. What an absolutely incredible comeback that was. It was certainly not an easy game to come back from. 1-0 down. They were so good defensively going forward. They weren't great, but Pogba so many times was in the box, making blocks for them. Rafinha scored an absolutely unbelievable goal. And David De Gea, well, what can you say about the Spaniard? He's an absolutely unbelievable keeper. And you can see from those stats there, we only scored 2, but we had 16 shots, 11 of them being on target. United had 3 shots, 2 on target, 1 ended up in the back of the net. David De Gea was easily their best player, if not Pogba, in today's game against ourselves. But Sadio Mane picks up man of the match with a 9.4 rating, and we bring another 3 points back to Liverpool. Right guys, and here we are back at the Central for the final time in today's episode. And I have to say, we've had an absolutely incredible episode. We've won every single game. We beat Dortmund in the game that we played 2-0. We then played Leicester and simulated that game in the Premier League, and we beat them 3-0. And then we've just beat Manchester United 2-1, which is absolutely unbelievable. Another great episode, plenty of energy, plenty of excitement, and most importantly, plenty of highlights and goals for you guys at home. But before we end today's episode, let's take a little look what we will be doing in the next episode. So we have FC Porto for our 3rd game. We've played Dortmund, we've played Lokomotiv Moscow, we are yet to play Porto, and then we will have played every team in the group stages, and then we've got to play them all again. Now, I believe if we beat Porto and then win our next Champions League game, I will be able to free up a little bit of space and simulate the other 2 games in the Champions League. So we would play Porto, we'd play Porto again, and as long as we beat them both times and get 6 points, we would have enough points to then simulate the game against Lokomotiv Moscow and also simulate the game against Dortmund and not have to worry whether we win or draw or even lose, because we'd be guaranteed a place in the knockout stages of the Champions League. But next episode, Porto, Stoke in the Premier League, and West Ham in our round of 16 Carabao Cup. So it's pretty obvious, guys. We'll be playing the Porto game, we'll be simulating the game against Stoke, who are a newly promoted team in Season 3, and we'll be playing the West Ham game in the Carabao Cup. So that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. And if you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been MassiveBrad. Peace out.